Welcome to the Sweet and Sassy Show podcast, Jen Carpenter and Molly Lowe. This is episode number 23, and as usual, everything aligns exactly the way that it is supposed to. Today, we are talking about honoring your commitments to yourself. This is something that has always been around for me and just keeps coming up more and more. My next event next month or this month, well, no, my next event is also on this topic. So this is the October episode that we're recording right now. But either way, it will have been my September 23rd Mind Flow Mastery event. So you can tune into that as well. And we're talking about this topic there also. So Molly Lowe, business LinkedIn queen, what's going on with you?
So many things to celebrate. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but I feel like every fall, as we go into the last quarter of every year, it might be the last quarter, but it's like I feel like it's a new beginning. Like I fall just signifies rebirth, and so I'm excited for that. All around. So I would love to hear from you all. If you guys are tuning in, what's something that's a new beginning for you all that we can help to celebrate?
I agree. I agree. It's you've got like the weekly Sunday reset too, that you kind of look at your schedule, look at what's going well, kind of plan your week and reorganize. Like that fresh start every Sunday is kind of a good ritual routine to have anyways. And then the end of the year, that fourth quarter, a lot happens. And those who stay very active and consistent and persistent in the fourth quarter are the ones that are also going to be most successful in the new year. There are a lot of people who slow down in this time of the year, and it is not the time to be doing that. So, um, basically, your top priorities. This is what I've kind of honed in my world and in my business. What are your top priorities, and where are you focusing your energy and your attention? So, integrity comes up all the time. Integrity with yourself comes up. I'm seeing it all the time. People are talking now about identity integrity, and that's over the past 6 months too. Like everything I've done just goes back to that too. Owning your identity, who you are, integrity with yourself. But what does that really mean? Taking a really close look at what your top priorities are. And we talk about this in my business communities all the time. I realized that, and I knew this, but like I kept kind of arguing the point, right? So, where are your top priorities? You can't put in 100% into Jen, 100% into your business, 100% into your relationships, 100% into your children and your family. That adds up to 500%. It's not possible. So that becomes a problem when you are trying to do it all and when you think you're focusing on your top priorities and when you're not. So when you really look at it, right now, as an example, my life is 70% business, 10% Jen, 10% kids, and about 5% boyfriend, you know? So the goal in my life, in my business, and probably where more Molly has evolved to, is that my goal is my life to be 60% Jen. You still have to focus on your income producing activities in your business to move the needle. That goes to the whole saying of 20% of your activity produces 80% of your results. I believe that's the correct way of saying it. Um, so yeah, there's a season that you're going to have to focus all of your energy and your attention on your business, but inevitably most people like Molly and I come from the corporate world, leave the corporate world to take control of your life and build the life you dream of. So even though, you can focus your energy and attention on your business tasks, inevitably you've built the life you want to focus more energy and attention on you and what is best for you. So, yeah, go ahead and from there then, because I know you have something exciting to share as well. And again, always things align. So we'll go from there.
Yeah. I was just saying to Jen when she shared that this is the topic that we wanted to talk about, I thought, oh my gosh, what a wonderful reminder. I worked with a wonderful coach and mentor a few years ago, actually, David Nagel, and it was a 90-day program. It was called the Elite Mindset, and it was all around You upholding your own commitments to yourself, not to your family, not to your spouse, not to your clients, not to your business, to yourself first. And, it as simple as that sounds, so much of, and I'm just going to speak from my own experience, so much of my subconscious mind, those not so great narratives that our subconscious mind likes to indirectly and also directly self-sabotage us with, is because we break promises to ourselves.
Yes.
It's because we say we're going to do all this stuff. We bite off way too much than we could do, like you said, 500% all around, 100 here, 100 here, and then we something has to give and take. And what usually happens is we tend to find that ourselves, our self focus, we push ourselves down to the bottom of the totem pole
Yep.
of what we believe is important and what needs to be done. And so when I was a part of this program, I specifically remember, and I will never forget, every single day. This was a program where when it was the 90 day, I mean, it was every day. And I joined during the holiday season, which I love that you said that. Because right now, Q4, either you're all the way in, like I am, like going to really nail in and full speed ahead towards the end of this calendar year. And some people are already planning, right? I had someone ask me, so what's your plan for next year? I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, we need to start thinking about 2026, aren't we? I joined this program during the holiday season, and every single day, it was during Christmas Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We as a group program showed up every morning, even on weekends and the holidays. And it was just training our subconscious mind to honor us, to honor that integrity of self focus and prioritization. And every day we had to fill out a accountability form for ourselves. Yes, it was sent to the coach and the coaching team, but it was more for us. It was like, what did I say I was going to do today? Did I do it? Yes or no? Why didn't I do it? And it was the most simplest three question questionnaire, but it was so powerful because it helped me to trust in myself again. And I think that that's the key here of what I want to share is when you can uphold integrity with yourself, you build more self trust. And so during times of ebbs and flows in business and in life, once you can build that integrity with yourself, you know that you can trust yourself to navigate through anything, the good, the bad, and I like to call it the beautiful because
Yes.
that's
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Thank you. It goes to, I guess I'll touch on the self-sabotaging. What are you doing to yourself that you're not honoring your commitments to yourself? And I say that too because and I don't mean this negatively, but we're the only ones in our own way, and we are our own problem getting out of your own way. So recognizing and acknowledging where that is happening, bring that to your awareness. So, I do have some specific ones that I've developed, and this is what I've put into my program too with coaching to have people develop this for themselves. And you can't just automatically be like, oh, what are my commitments? You don't really know. You kind of develop them, is what I'm getting at. Because it's not really a question you could just be like, because if you don't explore things and shift things and do that, you don't really know what your commitments are to yourself. So, um, where are you self-sabotaging? Basically, you know, the basics. Are you truly getting enough sleep? Clearly defining like I sleep from 10:30 to 6 a.m. and honoring that as much as possible. Yeah, it's going to flex a little bit here and there, but getting appropriate rest. And then the other piece of that is um, I do my best to spend the first hour of my day just on me. Sometimes it only is about 30 minutes, but I know from 6 to 7 a.m. I try not to, well, I don't like to use the word try. Don't look at your phone when you wake up. Don't look at your phone unless you're going to use it for your meditation or your exercise, whatever you're doing in the morning. And don't jump into the emails. Don't jump into the social media. Make that time for you. And creating the environment is a lot of what I talk about too. that, I've started lighting a candle. It's silly stuff that just it's actually the things that bring you joy. So like that's another thing is coming up with things that what am I missing in my morning that makes it helps me be energized to what I'm doing, excited about my day, excited to take care of myself. I have plants now out on my deck. I've been growing sunflowers with my kids. My sunflowers are finally blooming. My priorities are that this is the daily non-negotiables. It's you tend to put yourself last, so I'm going back to that. Drink a glass of water, take my medication and my supplements. These are simple, simple things, but they get put aside. There are days I forget to take my medication if I jump into everything else. Drinking a glass of water, taking my medications, water my plants, peaceful, peaceful stuff, being in nature, stepping out on the deck. Um, and then again, spending that hour in the morning focused and committed to you, or maybe it's only 30 minutes, whatever works for you. Same kind of thing at the end of the day. Again, it happens here and there, but my commitment to myself is to not work past 9 p.m. The last hour of my day is for me. And I'm with my kids from, 7:30 to 9. I know that if I have some other business things to finish, I can finish them between 6:30 and 7:30. So having structures and systems in place that allow you to honor your commitments to yourself, that's where you start to determine, okay, where am I lacking? Why am I so stressed and anxious? Well, you're not doing anything for yourself. Are you taking 15 minutes a day for yourself? Some people, that's where I had to start. I was told by my counselor, Jen, are you taking, this is in the past, 15 minutes a day for yourself, coming from being a people pleaser, doing everything, doing what's best for everybody else. That shouldn't be a challenging thing. Take 15 minutes a day for yourself. A way to do that is the 5 deep breaths. Take 5 minutes to yourself in the morning, afternoon, evening. You'll take 15 minutes a day if you just decide to pause midday, have some breaks scheduled into your calendar, working, children, whatever it is, and take a pause. Take a 5 minute pause to be present and take some deep breaths through your belly and just be and just recognize what's going on. Here I am. Am I good with this? Do I need to reset something? Whatever it is. So, those are just a couple of the things that I've kind of developed with the structure routine so that it helps me to honor my commitments to myself. Those are some of them. Last thing with that, and then I'll turn it over to you. Having structured business hours, especially people that are parents, mothers or fathers. My committed business hours are the fact that I operate my business from 7:30 a.m. to like 4 p.m. My kids come home from school, I can grab them, talk to them a little bit, finish a few things. Like they don't need me immediately when they come home from school from 3 o'clock. They need to decompress a little bit. So I take advantage of that time that I interact with them a little bit, and then they can chill for another half an hour. They need to decompress from their day. So having operating hours of your business that are committed, and there's a lot more that goes into that. So go ahead, Molly.
I love that. I'm gonna throw in one thing. This is one of the things that I've constantly. It's just a really great reminder for me. Yes to everything that you're doing, Jen. I think for me the hardest part about honoring my own commitments to myself from a self integrity perspective, again, goes right back to honoring my energy. So when we think
Yes.
about boundaries, right, we think, oh, it's me with my time boundaries. And yes, that's important. And for me, it is establishing energetic boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's huge for me because I think we've said this before. I might have a ton of time today, but if I don't have the energy, I don't care how much time I have. It's nothing is going to get done.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to be prioritized in the way that I would like because my energy is not there, right? So I think that there's also that energetic boundary of understanding what that looks like, right? And we always go back to that, but I think it's so important for you to understand that yes, those breaks are really important, establishing those and understanding when you operate your business and all the things. And guess what? Don't try to reach me on Monday. My Mondays is my energetic boundary day. That is my CEO Monday.
Hmm.
Many of you are not going to be able to access me Plain and simple as that, right? And so that has been a huge turning point for me, is not only looking at time, but more my energy.
I agree. Yeah. And that's something you've talked about before too. We've had this also in other episodes. Planning your day, your structure, knowing when you're able to do those certain tasks, having 2 to 3 hours of real focused work, deep work in the morning, or maybe you don't do that well in the morning. Maybe that's better for you to do in the afternoon. Whatever works for you, that you have to have that focused time. I was tend to overschedule, and then I'd have 1 or 2 tasks I'd have to finish at the end of the day just because I wasn't structuring my day properly. And then I would do it at the end of the day, and I'm not good at that. And I was like, this isn't working. So I decided just forget it, quit doing that, and just freaking go to bed. Go to bed and then take your time in the morning and finish that one task in the morning. Then you learn to not have that happen when you then have a better structure and a flow of your day. So yeah, your energy, when it dips, when can you show up most fully present for your clients? The best time of the day to have those very strong interactive meetings with your clients. When is it best for you to be networking? When is it best to be meeting in person? What time of the day works for you to do that? And then still have energy left for your family when your family comes home. So that goes into also having those structured times. I've talked about this before. Creative time, family time, fun time, free time, flow time. Having all of those things like you have your CEO Mondays. I'm starting to kind of put a block in of 4 hours of like I've been prioritizing my tasks more. I finally have a VA to help me. So I'm like, okay, I'm all in on this is my content writing time. This is my time that I have to write. I get to write my emails for my event. And blocking all those things together instead of like looking at them as separate tasks. It's that 3 to 4 hours of deep work of like your CEO time, like you have. Um, and really, your energy and attention priorities in business are to be able to show up for your clients, do the activities that you said too. Sometimes you don't feel like doing or want to do, but you have to do them even though you have a team to help you. Sometimes you still have to do things even when you're not motivated. We've talked about that. Having those things in place. And then, yeah, being able to do that. So I'll go to the next part and we will wrap up shortly. Knowing your values, being truly honest with yourself. Whether you do like an assessment of that or you just know what your values are, sticking to your values, honesty, integrity, loyalty, and the self-trust is a big thing. But knowing what your values are. One of the first things I learned in business was clarity of self. How do you want to show up each day? It's never changed for me since the time I determined it. Joyful, focused, and present. How do you want to show up each day? So, knowing your clarity of self, how you want to show up, and knowing your values will help you be able to determine how you honor those commitments to yourself as well.
Love that. As you were saying that, actually, I was thinking to myself, a lot of the times it's hard for you to honor yourself and put that self integrity at the forefront of your prioritization list if you don't know who you are authentically, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
that's
exactly.
yeah, it's true, right? So to your point, it's almost like, hey, you got to know who you are, what your values and your beliefs are, so that it does help you to set yourself up for self trust, and for that integrity. Otherwise, if you don't know who you are, you don't know what your values are, you don't know what your belief systems are, yeah, guess what? It's out of order, is what I'm saying, right?
Yes, yes,
So
exactly.
I really do like, that's such a huge component of this whole conversation, is know who you are, right? Know what you stand for. And that's going to be how you then can navigate any potential self sabotage, or distrust with yourself. And the more that you know who you are, what you stand for, then you can honor that so much more clearer and stronger, because you know thyself.
I actually listened to a video. I wrote a post about it a couple days ago. Is this serving me in my highest alignment? So like knowing that knowing where and when to adjust your energy and your attention, like you said, whether that's is this serving me, eliminating things, delegating things, protecting your energy and owning your energy. The question I ask all the time is, what would my higher self be thinking and saying about what I'm doing right now? So it already exists. That's what's really cool. Again, a lot of what I've been learning more recently is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's all about the quantum field and things like that. It already exists. Knowing that it's already there and it exists, you just have to tap into it. That's the biggest thing that I've been focusing on. Yeah, looking at that, does this align with my values? Am I in alignment with my values? Am I living, breathing, doing and acting aligned with my values? So again, if you don't know what those are, then you're just operating in chaos, stress, disorganization. I want to touch on the fact that, again, both of us come from the corporate world. You lose that. It's identity. I talked about in the beginning. You lose that sense of self. Um, you may think that you're operating in your alignment when you're operating in full speed. And you talked about beliefs too. So, like operating in what you think your beliefs are, and you don't even know what you don't know. So you don't, you have to really go through and be like, does this belief actually serve me? And it's usually probably not in alignment with yourself if it goes back to the things we tend to do in self-sabotage: scrolling, eating poorly, not doing healthy things, not getting enough sleep, spending time and energy with people who don't serve you. I'll just leave it with this. I made a huge shift in my life couple weeks ago. I decided to eliminate something through in my life, and I was going through my budget. I have a group that I was with a year ago, almost to the date, and I chose to decide to let it go. I was looking at my budget, and I had been massive things had occurred, and I love being in that space. Because I decided to let that go, I went to the meeting. I was then offered to stay in the group at no cost because of the growth and the value that I bring to the group. And then because of that, two other opportunities came my way. I was invited to join her other event, which is like a VIP event, and be able to then add value there. So while I stopped to shift my energy, my focus, my attention on my priorities, more things came my way because I decided, that's one of my favorite things to say, I decided to let go of something. So know that if you choose to let go of something, more opportunities and possibilities are truly going to come your way because of that. So be empowered in that. And that's that self-trust. So I was invited to that event. And then in the same week, I was invited to another event to show up as another person alongside two very influential people, very successful and influential people. And they said they wanted me there with them because of the value I add to that group. So now I have twice a month for that event and every Thursday for this other event, which my priority is to show up fully present and productive for myself and be in more spaces that I do that. And that's what happened from making that one decision. So the power of choice, and there's even more that came from it as well. So go ahead and wrap us up here with that.
Oh, that's awesome, Jen. I love that. What a wonderful example. That goes right back to full circle, right? Being business strategy and business spirituality, I talk a lot about the law of sacrifice, okay? A law
Okay.
of sacrifice. And, one of the awesome manifestation business coach podcasts I listen to is Marley Rose Harris. And she uses this analogy of we want a big spanking new Jeep, let's say, right? But we have a one car garage with the dingy little car that gets us by, right? But we have to make space
Yeah.
for God in the universe to deliver that sparkly new Jeep for us.
Perfect. Yeah.
They'll have to reverse out. We have to make the decision to
Uh-huh.
get into our dingy car, reverse it, move it out to the parking to the street parking or what have you, so that your Jeep can be delivered. And so I love that that's how you ended it. And that's amazing, Jen. I love that.
Thank
What a
you.
great
Thank you.
example.
Thank you. Really big shifts, like I said, in the past few months. So the power of that, past few weeks, anyways. The last thing was two. There was one more thing that went with it, and I had it and I just lost it again. Hang on. Uh, Darn it. Never mind. I'll put it in the description. I know what it
Awesome.
was. Something else with my daughter. I asked her, or I was going to go to this yoga class, which we have tonight. And then I've been looking for another space to have a better connection with my daughter, right? And I just signed up for this yoga class. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go to this yoga class. You might have to hang out with the neighbor, or you can come with. You guys got to sit and be quiet. She said, can I join? So now her and I are going to this yoga class together every other Tuesday. And that's another space I've been working on to improve my relationship with her. So
Mm,
it just happened on its own because I made more space for it. There's
there you
still
go.
another thing and I lost it, but either way, we'll put it in the comments. So thank
Oh,
you for joining us here today. Anything else you'd like to add, Molly?
no, this is wonderful. Love it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Join us for the Sweet and Sassy Show podcast. This episode comes out, this is the month of October, but usually now, definitely now, by the second Friday of every month. So stay tuned. Leave a comment in the description below if there's something that stood out for you, and share this with a friend if you'd like someone else to learn. So thank you for joining us today.